Okay, any questions? Okay, guys, please, we're gonna start. Okay, okay, what questions? Left 4, yes. Oh, for moves, no, move doesn't really have any undo associated with it. You shouldn't really, actually, because remember from the acceptance tests, moves is like a query that does not modify the states of your game. You only try to undo things that can modify the state of the game. For example, move and capture, and also set up chess. For the moves, you actually don't really try to do any undo. Excuse me? Hi, sorry. No, it doesn't have to. The question was, should the moves be a descendants class of the command? No, it doesn't have to be. Okay. Questions? You guys are fine, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. You can ask me project as well. Yes. You mean how to get started or how to get it completed? Okay. Yeah, I can speak a few words about just in general. Okay. That's okay. 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 First of all, I would definitely suggest it's a very good practice if you get a regression testing set up first. Oh, yeah. Good. Always forget. Remember there's a regression testing folder, right? You can actually refer to in-lab demo that I recorded, okay? I would say get this set up first, okay? And then every time you test it, you can test your code against the acceptance tests that was given, okay? Number one, okay? Number two, I would suggest you try to do the following. Number one, okay? Try to get try to get a hierarchy for, let me kind of separate between program and expression, let's say, okay? They're kind of different, okay? Program and expression. Okay, it may be hierarchy or hierarchies. They may not have to be a single one, okay? Just making. Okay, I would say get this done as soon as you can. If you haven't got this part done yet, get it done by the end of the weekend, if possible. Because you do want to make sure you have enough time to really do the second part, okay? So this part, get it done. So you got a basis to really test your code. Okay, number two, it's about operation, right? I would say start with generate Java code. You want to do is type correct a little bit later, because that one actually is a bit more complicated. Get the simple things work first. Okay, so now let's talk about generate Java code, right? In order to have something that you can test right away, so you want to just make sure things like an add class, like an add query, and also add command, and make sure these three work first of all, okay? And also remember, so these you also got some error checking that you want to implement, right? I think these can be done quite, compared with the later test, these will be easier, okay? And then after that, you can now implement it is type correct, okay? So now, of course, you have to worry about question mark versus neo, right? If you know what I'm talking about when you talk about expression, okay? And yeah, what else? You definitely need recursion, lots of recursion. And should you use one moment? Should you use visitor? I would say it seems like a reasonable pattern to use. If you really believe you have something that's better than visitor, be my guest. Do it. Okay. Stemming first.
So the bond diagram is 5%, and it looks like you're expecting some certain design patterns, for example, visitor. Is it possible to get a good grade on the bond diagram and like without using the patterns that
Yes.
were...
No problem. So the question was, what if you didn't really use the visitor and composite pattern for your projects? Would you lose marks for, let's say, the design? The answer is no, you wouldn't lose marks. Okay. Somehow, afterward, we cannot. Myself is not going to grade your report. I'll basically tell the TA. A typical submission for student will be you use the visitor and composite pattern. That can also make your job easier, I believe. If you really decide to use something else, that's okay, as long as your diagram can somehow show properly client supplier inheritance, and also make sure it shows some nice contract over there. That part should be quite straightforward to mark. You can actually see the feedback from lab 2 and lab 3 as well. Okay. What's important for the report would be about how to explain how you actually satisfy single choice principle, and also how you satisfy information hiding, right? Things like that. I think that'll be important. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we wouldn't force you to really use visitor and composite, even though we recommend. Yeah. Yes. The report is 5%. The 15% will just be like a black box checking. We're going to run your software against some grading tests. Yeah. But do notice that for the example test I gave to you, I might just give you maybe a few more next week. The ones we gave to you, I think they're reasonably complicated, but does not test every possible expression shape you can have. I would say that's why I give you the Oracle. Want to test as many as you can. Yes.
Does that mean that if you try to run it from home, you need to...
It's good. Okay. Let's say, I guess many of you are using either Mac or Windows, right? Oh, it's okay. Let me talk differently. Okay, that may be something practical. How can you, okay, I'm here. Working from home. That's right. I believe the workflow will be somehow similar. Okay. Okay, I think it will be the same. It will be the same. Okay, doesn't matter Windows or Linux. Okay, I would suggest the following. Okay, let's say if this is your machine or your laptop. Okay, and then tell me if you believe you can improve it. That's okay. Well, we're just discussing. At least that's something I would suggest at first. Imagine that. Let me use a different color. Let's say this part over here is your prison account, okay? Of course, it's Linux. Your Oracle can only be used over here, first of all, okay? Let's get it clear. Let's say your laptop, what you will get is this. You will have your project over here. That's your project, the entire project, right? The analyzer. So now let's say every time when you finish the current coding, what can you do? What you can do is you can somehow use FTP or GitHub. GitHub might be even easier. You can just say commit and then pull the updates from the server side, right? Or it's just FTP is fine. Let's say you either use FTP or GitHub. Oh, by the way, if you use GitHub, make sure it's private. Okay, please. Okay, and now over here, this will be the analyzer on the server side. And presumably, you also got a regression testing that I talked about set up. Okay, so you only try to use of course, when you develop your code, you can also use eStudio on your home machine. That's not a problem. But every time you want to test, you want to make sure somehow you sync your code on the server side and then run the regression testing using the Oracle here. Okay, so the only requirement is you got some internet. But that's a reasonable requirement, right? I hope you got internet. If you don't have internet, yeah, you can. Well, yeah, just come to the lab, right? Yeah.
Wait, so then when you move it over to the Prism account,
yeah,
you have to use that compile command as well, right?
Oh, good. So I would say, of course, because since we talk about different operating system, right? So over here, when you run the eStudio over here, okay, over here, what would you do? Of course, you got to compile using the either Windows version or Mac version, okay? And also, you may want to debug here. Okay, so these are the two things you're going to do. Okay, and over here, you also, of course, you got to recompile as well. You can use the command line. You can see EC1905 -C compile, if I remember correctly, and then -config, and then the ECF file, right? So every time when you, let's say you make some changes over here, you want to either use FTP or GitHub and make sure the changes reflect over here and then recompile. and then run the regression test. Okay, I think that will work. I personally really would like to see if you can use GitHub to work it. That's more like it's better workflow. But if you cannot get it work, that's fine. FTP will be fine.
So for lab 3, we were able to SCP to our Prism account and then run the regression tests and then get the expected files for our student tests and then come bring it back.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. But I would say, so you also mentioned about this one again, or you can use SCP to secure a copy. You can look it up as well.
So we were able to bring it back and then run the test locally instead of
Oh.
But then for lab 4, when I tried to
Yeah, I tell you what the issue might be. It's kind of unpredictable. If you simply try to, let's say, what you're suggesting is like this, okay? Let's say you try to recompile your project over here, and then use the Oracle to generate the expected file. And then you transfer the files back to your local project and try to use a mail over there. This one may not work sometimes, because when you try to use it on Windows or Mac, they might put some special characters after your actual output, which you don't really see. I think some students were actually struggling from this. So I would say the safest way, since eventually we only grade you on the Prism account, so you want to make sure you only do the testing from here.
Yeah, just a lot of work every time you change. You have to fix it and then bring it back.
I know, yeah. That's kind of the catch, right? Yeah. But I would say, one moment. I would say if you use FTP or GitHub, it's actually okay, right? You can try to, I would suggest you try to run regression testing for every 5 small changes or every big change you're trying to make. Make sure everything still works. Yeah.
As a suggestion, I had on my Linux side, on my EECS server, I had a bash script that would compile it, and I would usually run the executable itself, because you know how you can run it in interactive mode?
Yes.
Command by command?
Yeah.
I copied the executable into the top level folder to make it easier, and then I would do the regression testing, because I put it all inside of one script so I did it all at once.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have to keep running the commands over and over.
Yeah, basically try to apply what you learned back in 2031, right? You can write some bash script to automate anything you want to do together. Yeah.
Is there an advantage to use FTP over SCP?
FTP, well, you can definitely download some GUI for that. If you use SCP, it's more like command line. Yeah. Yeah. Wing SCP, okay, good. I'll put it here just in case people want to know. I haven't used Windows for ages, so I'm just, yeah. Win SCP.
Win SCP, yes. Lifesaver. You have to transfer
Yeah.
the files between
It does it in a
Guys, any more questions? Yeah, just, yes.
We need to convert input to the Java code, or we need to execute Java code.
No, so when you enter generate Java code events, you just output that, as part of the output, right? You don't really execute the Java code. So what exactly the Java code you want to generate, you can consult with the acceptance test given to you, or you can ask the Oracle. Mm-hmm.
So just convert input to the Java code.
Yes, this is something called generate Java code. Yeah. Guys, I want to ask you, so would it be useful? I still hold my regular office hour next week, but do you think this kind of a session, like all together, maybe other session can join as well? I can hold some review session on the projects. Well, do you think that might help? What time might be convenient for you?
Probably
Tell me the time.
Wednesday or
I can probably hold 2.
Wednesday and today.
I tell you what my constraints are. Yeah, I can ask any question about the project. That's fine. Yeah, I tell you what my constraints are. Monday, Wednesday, I got classes between 11:30. Oh no, not 11:30. From 1 until 2:30, right? And Tuesday, Thursday, also that'll be from 2:30 to 6 to 4 p.m. You know why, right? Okay. I hope you know. All right. Okay. These are the 2 main constraints. Tell me the time that might work for you. Tuesday, Thursday. Well, doesn't matter. T and T means Tuesday and Thursday, right? Okay, suggest some days. So these are the times I cannot do. That's what I meant.
Probably you can just continue the. Oh no, never mind.
I think I can still hold a regular office hours. How about this? How about Tuesday morning? No? Too early?
Probably
itself is actually at like 2 p.m. So like probably what you can do is like probably you start with the Q&A session at 2.
Oh, you're talking about before our class at 3311, right?
Yes, because that.
But do you guys have classes beforehand?
No.
Oh, you don't? Oh, I thought usually you got class. Okay, you know what?
Is a class right before that though? So
I think it finishes at 1 p.m. That's what I'm saying.
because there's a class right before ours.
That's 1 p.m. They finish at 1 p.m.
So you mean it's free from 2 p.m. or?
2 p.m. to 2:30 is free.
Oh, but only half an hour, right? I'll rather give you 1 hour. How about Friday? Friday would that be okay? I can definitely do Friday. How about we do another day before Friday? So first of all, Friday next week we say it's still 1:30 to
2:30 at here.
okay, 1:30 to 3. Okay, next Friday. So would you prefer Tuesday or Wednesday? Okay, I tell you what, if it has to be Tuesday, the only time I can do it is before 11 a.m. I'll record it, don't worry. Yeah.
Can you just probably the Wednesday you're in your lab? Oh, you want to make a lab session separate, right? Like you can just like.
Oh, actually, by the way, Wednesday you got your lab test. Don't forget, right? Yeah. So maybe, huh?
We just not have a lab.
Not to have, or I have a suggestion here. We can replace your lab test 2 mark by lab test 1 mark. No. No. It's not. No. Don't worry. Lab test 2 is going to be straightforward. Yeah.
Can you just like do like a Friday and keep that Friday session as probably you can
Yeah.
start with the Tuesday probably.
Yeah.
It's a before class, so like make sure we prepare for the lab test.
Okay. Guys, for Tuesday, do you want to make it in the morning? It's up to you. Do you think Tuesday morning might be fine? That's the only time I can make it. Tuesday morning.
I cannot make it anyway.
If I make it Tuesday morning, I don't know. $10 a.m. No? Too late? I was about to suggest 8 actually. Wow.
Do you have a schedule at Monday?
11?
Do you have a schedule at Monday?
Monday. Hmm?
10 a.m. is fine because it's like regular lab time. That's when you have your lab, right? So like a 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't mind.
How about this? I would say Tuesday. We'll definitely do Friday. No problem. Okay. I would say Tuesday would be tentatively from 11 to 12:30. Tentatively. Okay. If you can make it, please. If you cannot, I'll record it anyway. Okay. I'm gonna reserve this room and then I'll let you know early. Okay.
And yeah,